Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Brewer. Here. Trustee Carter.
Here.
Trustee Grant. Trustee Tate.
Here.
Trustee Todd. Here. Trustee Zupan. Here.
I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session, recess for personnel matters. I'll entertain a motion.
Second.
Moved by Trustee Grant, second by Trustee Brewer. Madam Clerk.
Trustee Brewer.
Yes.
Trustee Carter.
Here. Yes, I'm sorry.
Trustee Grant.
Yes.
Trustee Tate. Trustee Todd.
Yes.
Trustee Zupan.
No.
Motion is carried. We'll be back. Okay, we will reconvene the meeting. Item number 4. Director of Economic Development, Mr. Wizawati.
Good evening, everybody.
Is it on?
Yes, it's on. Yes, it's on. All right,
Let's do it.
everyone should have a copy of the
Still
resolution.
can't hear you.
Everybody should have a copy of the resolution before them for the accepting of the grant from the Illinois Housing Development Authority. This grant, as you know, is for $75,000. It is a reimbursable grant. We've kind of discussed it quite a bit over the last several months. In addition, the authorization will authorize the mayor to sign the grant documents. That's pretty much it. This is a required resolution by the Illinois Housing Development Authority. That's pretty much it.
Are there any questions?
Just this is a reimbursable
I know I
grant.
have to use the mic.
I'm sorry. This is a reimbursable grant, and did we decide on what account that the $75,000 was coming out of? We have to, pay up front. So which account is it going to come out of?
Right. As you know, the first portion of the grant is for the grass mowing. The other portions have not been let. The portion of the money that we're going to use for these projects is going to be coming from the sale of the laundromat building. We expect that to close sometime before the 1st of June. It's a cash sale. There are no contingencies on that. So that should be fairly quick. We're only waiting on the land survey to come in. We should have that hopefully either by the end of this week or the early part of next week.
Mr. Mayor, normally when we say that something's going to be as a reimbursable grant and we get it from a particular fund, it never comes out of fund. Well, the fund is never reimbursed. So, is there anything that we could get to say that the it won't be coming out of the water fund? That's my concern. The $75,000.
The $75,000 is the reimbursable. In other words, we have to pay up front, absolutely. I can't say it's not coming out of the water fund because the water fund is part of the general fund, but as was just stated, the first monies will be coming out from the sale of the land, so therefore it won't be any particular fund. It'll be the money that we got from that. And from that being said, once we present that monies to the state, they will reimburse us that amount, so therefore that goes back. And then the next time, by the time we get through, we wouldn't have we can keep using that over and over until that's 75, because what we'll do is we'll get reimbursed and then we'll use that reimbursement to pay the the second wave of cutting. So therefore, it shouldn't be any, once we pay this first 35,000, there shouldn't be any money coming from general fund at all, depending on how long it takes them to reimburse us, but we'll put in for that. As a matter of fact, we're going to try to put in before they even get started to see if they can give us upfront money.
Right. The total amount that was requested, or not requested, the total amount that was put in the proposal for the landscape service was $26,000. The sale of the property is about $40,000. You'll have some costs associated with that, of course, but you know, we have more than enough to cover the entire grass cutting season out of the sale of those, the proceeds. So that was a suggestion that we made for funding this. The first reimbursement submissions will be in September. The second one will be in December, and then they'll follow quarterly after that.
Okay, any other questions? Thank you.
And Mr. Mayor, request that this be on the agenda for approval for next week.
Okay. Next item is the discussion, 1, 2, 3, 4. For the increase of licenses. And we turn to doesn't have a page number. Next to the last page. You can see what we currently have and what I'm asking the board to approve. And you can see, I think it's section 6-30. Everyone have that? And you can see what we have currently in the village. And basically I'm asking to increase our 3 licenses, which is for gaming parlors. I'm not trying to increase liquor licenses for lounges and other types of licenses that we already have. I need to increase the licenses for gaming parlors because we do have, and I don't want to keep going back and forth, so we do have, currently we have 2 for just gaming parlors by themselves. We have, for B license, we have 3. And it's explained in the ordinance, but I'm basically asking for an increase for the R3 licenses, which are for the gaming parlors. But you can look this over. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Yes.
I'm sorry, Mayor, you said section 630. I'm looking at that, and I know that's what we're going to be voting on next week, but if you could please go through all 7 of these and let us know how many we have of each currently.
Okay. Currently, you have 2 licenses for Class A, A1, A2, A3, and A5.
Tell us what kind of
Okay, A1.
licenses those are for.
A1 licenses are, and it should be in here. Okay. A1 licenses are licenses that authorize the retail sale on the premises of alcohol and consumption on the premises. So basically, lounges. So currently we have 2 of those. One is actually, we have 2, one available, we already have one. We already have a lounge in the village. The second one is class B. And these are retail sale of alcohol, but not for consumption. So right now, we have 3, Walgreens, Fairway, and then the Benny's, the liquor store. So we have 3 currently. We do have an ordinance already in place for 5. I'm not increasing that. Down to R2. We have 2 licenses, and R2 is licenses that authorize the sale, retail sale of beer and wine for consumption on a restaurant. And right now we have 2, and I'm not asking at this particular point in time to increase those. So we do have 2 for beer and wine sale at restaurant. And then the last one, R3, and those are your cafes or your bistros or your gaming parlors, basically. We have 2 right now, and I'm asking for a total of 7.
7.
Yes?
Liquor and gaming, aren't they like hand in hand? We don't have a, yes, code for both, for gaming and liquor. Because generally, if you have a gaming parlor, you generally have liquor there. So you don't have a class for that. So I mean,
That's the one I was talking
right.
about.
So that's R3. So the seven class R3. You want to raise that to 7?
I'm going to raise it to 7, yes. So that's basically what I'm asking for next week. If you have any questions, quite naturally I'll be in regards to that. I know it sounds an additional, but I'll tell you the average village in surroundings have 9 or more. So, excuse me, I'm with. Are we through? Okay. I'll wait, I got time. But back to the board, we can, you know, it's up to the board if they want to vote them in, if they don't want to vote them in. But I can tell you that they're going to gamble. People are going to go to the gaming parlors, whatever you want them to, you can not have them or what, they're going to still go. I'm trying to recoup and get the money here because there is definitely is going to happen. It's a big industry now. To get involved in it, we can only have some, I mean, it's going to happen. There's people in here, in this audience right here that goes to gaming parlors. So it's not that it's not going to happen. It's going to happen, and I'm just looking to recoup the money. That's income that we can get in, and it's people that want to come in and open the gaming parlors. That's why I asked for 7, because I've had numerous people asking, can they come and open up a gaming parlor? Illinois, that is so high that the gaming parlors or the gaming industry is so far backed up. And you can easily go online and look up the municipalities to see how many gaming parlors are in just this surrounding area and how much money they bring. We have a gaming parlor in Sauk Village right now. And I'm not going to even name the name of it, but every month, $1.4 million goes through those 5 machines. Not saying they win or lose, but goes through there. And that's where you get the money at when it goes through.
Mr. Mayor, how soon do you think we'll get 7 businesses that'll, well, not 7, well, actually 5 more to take up all the licenses?
If we pass this, by the time, it takes about 2 to 3 months, because like I said, they're backed up, the game is backed up. But I've had calls after calls after calls of people asking, can they open up? We have businesses already, shops already waiting. And but they can't until they can get a license. So quite naturally, you know, that's revenue that we can get at least by the end of the year. And how soon would those 5 be taken? I'm looking probably by October. By October, I'm sure that, I'm confident that those 5 licenses that will be left will be gone by October. Any other questions from the board? Okay, I'm looking to have this put on the agenda for next week, Madam Clerk. Okay. Before we go to public comment, I want to pass out the edited budgets that you guys said last week that you wanted edited or changed, or some of the things added to. So that's your updated portion of the budget. All right, I'll accept public comments. All questions and comments shall be directed to the mayor. Each speaker may comment on any matter pertaining to the business of Sauk Village. Each speaker is allowed 1 opportunity to speak for up to 3 minutes and may not engage in debate. And would you please give your name before you ask for your comment.
Kathy Bencher. I was intending on speaking tonight, but are we going to get any other businesses in this town besides gambling establishments? Or are we trying to go for little Las Vegas here? I mean, my sister has a gambling casino in another town. She makes decent money. She makes decent money off of it, and the village gets their portion. But when you have 5, 6, 7 of them, you're cutting into everybody else's profits. And they're gonna not be happy when you have that many in a small area. This town is too small for 7 gambling casinos. And it's gonna cause a lot more crime rate, I'm sorry to tell you. But next thing is, why are we waiting for, why don't we wait for the money that's coming from the sale? It's 2 weeks. Why are we going to borrow money from one account? I went on to a different subject. Okay, now I'm talking about the money that they want to borrow, $75,000 from this account. That's not what you're saying. Okay.
No, we did not say anything about borrowing any money from anything, no ma'am.
But if we need to get money for the mowing, why can't we wait the 2 weeks to the sale and just use the money instead of moving things around to pay that? And how much did that sale go for the sale of those buildings? Last thing, I'm not prepared because I wasn't intending on talking tonight, but do we feel that this amount of items that's on this agenda warrants for a meeting at $125 or whatever it is that you get paid to sit here? Don't you think we can cut this back to 2 meetings a month? Save us some money. Thank you.
Okay, I will address the sale. The sale is $40,000. And the reason why we're not waiting is because, as you can see out there, grass is already up a foot. So they need to get started like yesterday. So that's why I'm not waiting until this other deal goes through. But that person that's doing that does not get paid for a while. So that's what just stated. So it's not borrowing anything to pay anyone.
Heidi Parker. You have hired a director of economic development for almost $100,000, including benefits. Is this what he can do, bring those type of businesses here? Well, thanks a lot.
My name is Bernadine Hopkins. Like the lady before, I wasn't prepared to speak, but Mayor Burgess,
the idea that you're gonna place 7 possible casinos, and you and I both know we like to gamble, but we don't want it in our backyard. You don't have any, I'm sure, delegated for Deer Creek. So you have to understand, I kind of don't like the idea that if my child wants to go to Fairway or wherever, you know, that they're having to walk by numerous gambling casinos. The other thing, if you want to develop something, why don't we just start with putting a sidewalk on the other side of Sauk Trail, you know, so people don't have to walk in the street. I think that's a part of economic development as well. The other thing, did you consider just utilizing some of the talents of the people that you have here and create fairs in that open ground that you got over there to entice people to come in for, let's say, a bit more positive activities, maybe even family-oriented activities. But this gaming thing, that's to me personally, that's messy, and if it was in your neighborhood as well, then maybe I would be hard-pressed to say anything. But I'm pretty sure it won't be, and I don't think that's fair.
Just so you know, 3 blocks away from where I live, there's 4 gaming parlors. 4 gaming parlors, 3 blocks away from where I live.
That's true. You're right, it is. It's 4. Because from down from my house, it is 4 over there. On Cottage Road. Yes, it is. It's 4. You don't have 7? Yeah, because I have a house on Cottage Road. It's 4.
Linda Washington. First of all, I don't understand why we have to pay a company to come and to cut the grass $76,000 when Gary Hogan and the Housing Commission had that project with the previous administration. When David Hanks was the mayor, they paid the residents to cut the grass. It allowed the residents a chance to make money. It allowed the residents a chance to have some type of unity. They all met here. People had their lawnmowers. They went and got their gas for their lawnmowers. They were able to talk, and it just brought a lot of camaraderie doing that whole project because the money wasn't available. It was a big issue with some of the trustees to go on and front those people that had been cutting grass the money, knowing that we were going to get the money on the back end. But now we're not even considering trying to make jobs for the residents to allow them to cut the grass or even give them or afford them that opportunity. You have decided to pay a company $76,000. And who is this company? Where do they come from? Who's employed by them? I just think that was a bad decision to not allow the residents to continue to do that. And you act like that's a big thing that, quote unquote, the economic development director did with housing chairperson. That has already been done in the past administration. I don't see anything new that you guys are doing. I don't see nothing that has not been done before. It's the same rhetoric, it's the same old thing, and the things that you did not tolerate when you were sitting over there as trustees, now in this administration, you vote yes to absolutely everything that's recommended, although you see state statutes and you see that it's not good for the village, you still say and vote yes anyway. And the things that you would have wrote about on Facebook and people would have been murdered in political satire to do, now you're doing those same things and nobody's talking about it, nobody's writing about it, it's all okay. But I want to let you know the residents are watching, and they may not be on Facebook and they may not be on social media, but trust me, everything that you are voting on is being noted. And I want to say to the trustees, you were voted and elected to watch out for the residents, to watch the money, to watch out what's in our best interest. Having all these gaming machines is not in our best interest. It is not in the best interest of the community, and I think that you should do a better job at some of the things that you all vote for. Also, on these agendas, I see you're no longer allowing the trustees to have comments. So you have trustees that was elected by the people to be able to talk, to not even be able to say anything, but they gotta come down here and talk like a resident from the microphone. Not only is it humiliating, it's just distasteful, and it's low class. It's mind-boggling the things that you're doing. It is noted, know that, it is noted. What you do, what you vote on, what you saying, you may think it's okay in your back room with your friends, but trust me, election day is coming.
Judy Cast here.
I have a statement that I'm very curious about. The HR lady who's working with the police department on their contract. I've been informed that she now needs an arbitrator. I would like to know if that's true, and if so, who is the arbitrator? What qualifications get the arbitrator in there? And exactly how much is the arbitrator getting paid? My second comment is for the village clerk. This past week, I submitted 5 FOIAs, and I intend to submit a whole lot more. As long as we stand up here and ask questions that are not answered, I will submit a FOIA. I will follow it up with the state's attorney's office. I want answers. Trustees, I didn't think I would ever say this, but I 100% agree with Linda Washington. The trustees are sitting up there looking at us, but not one of you comments. We have 2 trustees that get up here, but all of you together are allowing yourselves to be tied to those chairs. It is your right. We voted. We gave you that right. And yet none of you are grabbing at it. We have recaptured the bobbleheads. Trustees, why is it that the clerk cannot get minutes passed? What game are you playing with that? It's stupid. The budget. I just got my copy of the budget and I haven't been able to go through it thoroughly. But I have a problem with some of the stuff that's going on. Because I haven't been up here speaking about the police department, which is my corner of the world, doesn't mean I forgot about them. I'm still going to be involved whether anybody up there likes it or not. I also want to know why ESTA doesn't have a vehicle. Why were they told they could not get their vehicle fixed? Their vehicle is sitting, yet you expect them to be on the highway with the fire department and the police department. How in the hell can they do that safely? You've cut our police department down to practically nothing. When does it stop? During the campaign, I heard somebody say, if Burgess makes mayor, Joe Wisawati's gonna run this town. And you know what? I looked at him and I thought, what idiots. But you know what? It's true.
First of all, on your comment, I don't know where and who is talking because the negotiations are still just that. There is no mention of an arbitration. So someone somewhere is talking to you, that's no problem. I really don't, because just like everything else, misinformation. And ESTA has 3 vehicles. You just see one that's parked out there because it's disabled. But ESTA has 3 operating vehicles.
As you know, I'm a trustee here in the village, and we're not able to talk from our seats, so I'm taking my stand here. First of all, I would like you guys to take a real look at that budget. I feel that it's unrealistic, that on page 41, it actually says that the numbers were unrealistic last year, which I voted no for the budget, so it's the same thing this year. So you might want to take a closer look at the budget. The revenue, the expenditures outweigh the revenue, so the budget cannot be balanced, but for some reason they say it's balanced. I don't understand that. They also have taken out twice as much money from the water fund as they did last year. You can't run this town on the back of the water fund. It's that we get to be more and more in need of the water fund. There has to be some kind of way that you need to look at the water fund and say, use the money for what it's intended for. Every year it goes up and up and up. To do it twice as much as we did last year, something is wrong with that. And also, at the end of the budget, there's a $3 million payment for different loans and bonds. I don't see how we can make that. December 1st, 2018, we won't have the money. If we use up the water fund up until then, we won't have the money, enough money to make that $3 million payment. I think it's about 5 or 6 of them. You know, so we might want to think about how we could shift the due dates on those bonds and, you know, make it more reasonable for us. But to use the water fund for everyday use is not what it's intended for. We have projects that the Kevin Williams said he wanted to do. There are projects that Robinson Engineering said he could do. With the money collected, it should be used. It should be used for the best interest of the people and get some infrastructure fixed around here.
Good evening. My name is Robert Porter. First of all, I want to start coming in peace.
Everybody does.
I come in peace, Mayor Burgess, the trustee board. Again, my name is Robert Porter. I was welcome here. I'm just here to ask her a question. If you guys would consider having a chamber in the village. I currently sit on the board of the Joliet Chamber of Commerce, the African American Business Chamber of Commerce, Sauk Shore Chamber of Commerce, and High Park Chamber of Commerce. I have had a conversation with your economic development gentleman. Don't ask me to pronounce his name, but I did have a conversation with him a couple of weeks ago concerning that. So I'm just asking if you guys would consider that to build an economic base, or at least get businesses, and not just so much a Sauk Village. From what my understanding is of some research that I've done, it used to be a chamber called the South Suburban Chamber, which encompassed a lot of the municipalities out here. So I'm just asking if you guys would at least consider that, maybe reinvent that or look at it and see if we can do the same thing again, just for economic growth for businesses in these villages and these communities. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We do, there is, South Suburban Mayors and Managers does have the economic development arm,
Okay.
and we are part of that.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, there's a meeting Thursday, where I will be there for that.
Okay, I'll like
So-
to send that if I can get that information.
Okay, I'll give you that after the end of the meeting. Yes, they have meetings every month, SSMMA. We're part of that. We've been a part of that since before I was trustee. So, but economic, as far as the chamber, yes, we're doing things now to move in that direction so we can conglomerate the businesses together, that they can network, and also with the village. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you,
Mr. Mayor, you know, how do we get you questions for, we had agreed to some changes here, and how do we just send them to you?
You have some more for changes of the,
No, yeah.
for the budget?
She's gonna make some changes. Do we just send it?
I mean, you got some, if you have some more changes, by all means, talk to
No,
our
there's
trust.
no changes we agreed on already, she forgot to do.
That's what I'm saying. If there's something in there that you didn't see, or something that you had that you don't see in there, quite naturally, talk to Mohan or Judith. Okay, any other, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Moved by trustee Ty, second by trustee Brewer. Madam Clerk, please. All in favor? Aye. Opposes? Motion carried. Thank you.
Yes, I can have one.